All right, hello and welcome back. This will be the second half of the modules where we're going over some more positioning on the fields and talking about some responsibilities of the four positions after the snap and some of what those responsibilities look like. So as you have learned in the previous modules, we have a referee, a line judge, a field judge, and a back judge. And we'll be going over for the referee first, the initial starting position, some pre-snap keys, and then at the snap responsibilities. That's what we learned about in the last one, and then we'll be going over after the snap in this one. So for the referee, the white hat there behind the line of scrimmage on the offensive side. And as you mentioned, you're going to maintain 7 and 7, so 7 yards behind and 7 yards off to the side of the deepest back, typically the quarterback. So right after the snap, we already went over the pre and at the snap. So right after, watch the initial rush for illegal contact. And then you're going to want to move with the quarterback or the back that has the ball, whether they go left or right, whether they roll out. And then if there is pass rushers, you're going to be responsible for watching flag guarding on the quarterback. So we saw an example of a quarterback in the previous modules of flag guarding. So that is your main responsibility at that point. And then also we talked about yelling balls away when a pass is released. If the play ends beyond the line, you're going to, or behind the line of scrimmage rather, you're going to take that spot. So you'll go and you put your foot where the person was deflagged or where they fell down perhaps. Put your hand up, take that spot, and then wait for the line judge to come back and take that spot from you. And then at that point, it's your responsibility to go ahead and go up and grab the pucks and move them back to that point. We'll see a video of that later on in this module. So if there are no penalties, you're going to go ahead and go move those pucks or spotters as they're listed here. So you're going to move the ball spotters to where the play ended. And you're almost always going to be taking that spot from the line judge. So at the end of this module, we'll see what that looks like when you're moving the pucks. But essentially, the line judge will have taken the spot from either you or one of the other officials or have the spot on their own. And then you will pick up the pucks from where they previously are, as long as there's no penalties, and you'll take them to that spot and place them down. If there is a penalty, you're going to want to leave the pucks where they are because of enforcement. We may be enforcing it from the previous spot. So find out what the penalties are. If they're not yours, have that official, one of the judges, report to you. And then you're going to signal the penalties, and we'll teach you what signals goes with what, as well as how to enforce those. And then you're going to ask the captain of the other team, so the team that was just fouled against, what they would like to do. So they'll likely have a couple of options. And you're going to go ahead, depending on where you're enforcing it from, pick up the pucks and then march off the penalty, place the pucks down, and then announce the penalty so both teams and sidelines know what's going on. And what you'll see here, this is our referee that's in frame right now. You'll see he kind of starts to get stepped on here and people kind of get into his lap a little bit because he wasn't maintaining that 7 and 7 very well. He maintained the 7 yards away initially, but he wasn't 7 yards back. So you can kind of see him stumbling, not having a great view of the play. And then what you'll also see is him taking the spot. So you'll see he's not maintaining far enough back. And then when that flag is pulled, because it's behind the line of scrimmage, he goes up and takes a spot. And then you'll see our line judge coming to grab that spot from him so that the referee can go ahead and grab the pucks and move them back to that point. You want to make sure that somebody has taken the spot from you before you move, so that way it's accurate and correct. You'll see the referee behind the play right here. He has a flag. I believe it's illegal contact that he has on that play. And so in this scenario, rather than going and grabbing the pucks and moving them right away, you're going to want to announce that penalty, ask in this case, the offensive team what they would like to do. And then if they accept, you're going to want to enforce that penalty before moving the pucks. So the line judge in the last modules, we learned about initial starting position, pre-snap, and at the snap responsibility. So we'll jump into post-snap. So the line judge, again, is directly on the line of scrimmage there at the top of this graphic. After the snap responsibilities include they'll be watching from the line of scrimmage to about 6 to 7 yards down the sideline that they are standing on. And their responsibilities are going to be watching contact over the middle, watching the receivers and the matchups that are on their side. And then if a player runs beyond the line of scrimmage, or if somebody catches a ball in their vicinity, it's going to be their responsibility to watch for flag guarding at that point. And the line judge is always going to be either having the spot or taking it from somebody. So they're going to hold that run or the end of or the spot of the D flag. And then, like I said, if you don't make that, if you're not the one that's taking the spot, you're going to find which official or referee has the spot, take it from them so that the referee can go ahead and move the pucks while everybody else gets into their position. It's important that you take the spot from people because that is going to be where you're going to start the next play. So you taking it puts you in position and allows the other officials to get into good position as well. If you do have a penalty on the play, you're going to need to report that to the referee. So you can go ahead and signal across and look across to the field judge and have them take that spot for you while you report the penalty. And then lastly, you're going to want to clean up your sideline. So if you have players that run out of bounds on your sideline, go ahead and turn your back to the field and then watch the players out of bounds and make sure that they come back so that there's no illegal substitutions or anything like that. You'll see your line judge take the spot, it looks like, from the referee at that point. And the referee goes and moves the spot back there and puts the pucks down. So the line judge is the official closest to us right now. See the spot is taken at the top, and then he goes, takes that spot and allows the referee to go and grab the pucks. And the line judge is out of frame on the right side right now. See a completed pass, he's watching for flag guarding, and then he goes and grabs the spot right out of bounds right there. And you can see this is a good example of a player being close to the first down line. So it's good that he's in position and is able to see exactly where this player went out of bounds so he can judge whether there was a first down or not. And then he would go, put his foot down, hand in the air, mark that spot until the referee is able to come and put the puck at that point. Okay, the field judge on the bottom side of the graphic here. So again, about 6 to 7 yards down the field to start the snap. And they'll be watching from 6 to 7 yards to around 10 to 15 yards. And they'll also be watching contact over the middle and watching the receivers and matchups that are on their sideline there. If a player catches a pass similar to the line judge and it's in their area, they'll be mainly responsible for watching for flag guarding and any other contact that may occur in front of them there. So after the play is over, the responsibilities will be to, if they do have the spot, they'll need to hold that until the line judge comes and takes that from them. And similarly, if the line judge on the opposite side of the field has a penalty, they'll need to either take the spot from them or just hold theirs until that penalty is able to be reported to the referee. And also, they'll need to clean up their sideline just like the line judge did, so they can turn their back and watch to make sure that all the players come back in bounds. And they'll be also assisting with open and close plays and correct. So they'll be helping the referee, and honestly, every official should sort of help out and to make sure that the referee and everybody on the field knows whether a play is open or closed. So be keeping track of that, be listening to your referee's cadence, and go ahead and report back to them if you have a different opinion or a different call on open and closed plays. The final position is the back judge. Again, all the way in the back behind the deepest back of the defense. And their after snap responsibilities will be to watching the receivers coming off the line and then taking the deepest matchup. And again, always trying to stay behind the play. And that's why their first step needs to be backwards, because likely the defensive backs that are in front of them will be coming backwards to them as well. So their eyes should be in the backfield looking at the quarterback to see where the play may go. So if a quarterback is rolling out a certain way, they can feel free to sort of mirror that and anticipate where the ball may end up. And they'll be heavily responsible for pass interference, especially way down the field. So they need to remember the restrictions for that. After the play is over, if they do have a spot on a deep pass or something like that, they'll need to hold that spot and then either give it to the line judge or the field judge. So most of the time it'll be the line judge, but if the line judge has a penalty on the play, then they can pass that off to the field judge, and then they can go back and get in good position for the next play. They can also help clean up sidelines. So if the play is all on the left side, they'll probably be mirroring that, and they can help clean up that left sideline, and the same thing on the right. Just help out your partners. Be good officials and co-officials, and they can also help out with open and close plays in co-rec. And we'll see a couple examples of moving the pucks to wrap up this module. So we'll see we have positive yardage gained. It's all the way down the field. Here's our line judge coming in, having that spot. And then on the left side, you'll see the referee coming up right now with the pucks. Line judge has a good job, hand in the air, allowing everybody else to get into position. Referee puts the pucks down and is going to go ahead and go back and start his cadence at that point. Says his cadence, starts a clock and blows his whistle, and that is good there. And this next play we'll see is a little bit more interesting. So I believe we'll have a sack on the play and eventually a turnover on downs. It was likely 4th down. Yep, so we have a sack right there. So the referee comes in and takes a spot. And you can see him, you can't hear him, but he is yelling to the line judge, asking him to come take that spot from him so we can go ahead and move the pucks. You see the field judge that comes behind him. Now the line judge has the spot. You'll see the referee helping out, or the back judge helping out the referee. And then what's good here is that line judge has a spot, the referee is moving the pucks, and this allows the back judge, he has to travel a long way, right? So he was all the way in the back of the play, but because it was a turnover on downs and now we're going the opposite direction, this gives time for both the field judge on the far side and this back judge to flip roles there and get all the way behind the next play. Okay, that'll wrap up this module. Go ahead and take the short quiz that goes with it, and we'll get into some more mechanics going forward here in the next one.